I dislike anime, not because people dislike it, but I hate how cringy their characters are, how much of their episodes are wasted relentlessly expositing or just pure filler. But, but, there are some that just have such great stories, such great characters, and are just so much fun. All that shit that comes with the genre is barely noticeable. And Death Note is definitely one of them. This series is f***ing amazing. The planning and explaining fit perfectly into the genre. All the f***ing time there is tension. When you make it into a movie, you better get those bits right. Even if it doesn't strictly follow the original material, the characters and the philosophy must stay almost intact. So, how did Netflix do? Listen, I give two if the actors aren't Japanese, I give two if L is black, but come on! At least make a decent fucking adaptation. I don't get why Hollywood is so obsessed with making a whole season a movie. It just won't work. It happened with Avatar, it happened with Dragon Ball, and it happened in Death Note. Is this movie as disastrous as the others? Not really. Is it a tremendously shitty movie? Yes, yes it is. The characters make decisions that go against what we've been told and shown about them. The heartfelt moments doesn't really work. There's barely any tension, and well, there are just too many plot holes. Also, the ending was rushed as just imagine if this dumpster fire was made like a franchise. Instead of rushing to the end, they built it consistently, Harry Potter style. If the Harry Potter movies were made like this movie, it would be something like, "Hey, I'm Harry. I'm new to this school. Oh, Voldemort? Suddenly Voldemort? Uh, uh, Here you go, final battle. You." Also, and it might be ridiculous, but who the thought this shit was a good idea? Huh? Just give me the name! I'm gonna kill him! I swear Other than that, there's not much I can say about this movie without getting into spoilers. The editing is a bit sloppy, but that's because of the rushed story and the bad script. The camera work is okay, I guess, although it tilts a lot. The boss broke down. Hang on, guys, I think the cameraman just fell. And
I guess I should.
And her house fell down as well. The soundtrack is okay, if anything, it's the best thing about this movie. It's not distracting like in Suicide Squad.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Okay, we got it, she's the bad guy.
You don't own me. I'm not just one of your.
Somebody please stop this! But it sure as hell doesn't elevate the feelings of the movie, like in Lord of the Rings.
Tied up in a sack to stop it.
Anyway, you need people of intelligence on this sort of mission. Quest. Thing.
Well, that rules you out, Pip.
9 companions. So be it. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
Right. Where are we going?
So, should you watch it? Not unless you already have Netflix and kind of hate yourself. First of all, credit where credit is due. The only sequence that is enjoyable is this one, and honestly it's the best thing about this movie. You don't need to watch the rest. Just this is all you need. And just look at it. It's the only part where you actually believe it's going in the right direction. Sadly, the rest of the movie happened. I think the thing that annoyed me the most about this movie is how it would place a theme, start up a conflict, and be undercut by some bullshit. Either it would be not brought back at all, or awkwardly brought back, and the whole thing would feel out of place. Is light the lesser of two evils? Here, have an L with a gun. Does Kira represent justice? First kill, a high school bully. Great choice, guys. How will Light deal with the death of his mother during the movie?
If his dad paid his way out of jail, he killed my mom.
Who gives a f***? Here you go, Light, have a girlfriend. Why don't we explore the relationship between Elle and Watari? There's supposed to be an emotional impact in the movie, but we only see them interact once in this movie! Why couldn't you try at least? You didn't miss one fucking chance to fuck up, did you? Didn't miss one fucking chance! Is Ryuk a threat to Light?
But I warn you, there are 4 letters in my name. Most anyone's ever gotten were 2.
F that. We're gonna make some glamour shots of Elle eating candy. That's why people like Death Note. Because Elle was eating candy.
Nothing's gonna change.
How about we explore the relationship that Light and Mia has that is built upon the power of the Death Note?
I love you. I love you.
I'll go get my goddamn book.
Oh wait.
I love you so much.
Mother. I don't know who decided to put some Final Destination into this shit. I don't know if it was the director. I don't know if it was the producers. Maybe even the screenwriter. Whoever it was, you. Now let's talk about our main characters, starting with Light. Light is such a little brat during this movie. The first 10 minutes we spend with him is him cheating, getting knocked the fuck out.
Want to wind up on some kind of registry? I suggest you back the fuck.
Mia Sutton says she saw you walking into a beam out back.
Being a little bitch about it.
Alright, I get it. I'm in trouble. All I'm trying to say is, you have the chance to stop the type of people who make things hard for everybody. You gotta see the big picture here.
Light.
Panicking and screaming. Part of what makes Light Yagami such a great character in the anime is how the audience never sees him in a position of weakness. He's always in control until the very end, where we see him crumble. It's an impactful image. Instead, in the movie, we get from the very beginning a little punk screaming for help. In the anime, we know how smart Light is because we are shown how he plots and how he destroys his enemies. Instead, in the movie, they tell us this.
A particularly bright kid.
And
Sure?
show us
Okay, then
this.
I'll tell you. I'll just follow me.
Wait, what? Why are you telling her this? She legit lied about your situation, you fucking retard!
A particularly bright kid.
A particularly bright kid.
In fact, the only moment when we actually see Light being smart is in the very end. And well, look at it.
Rule 28. Each death must be physically possible, so no shark attacks while someone's on the toilet. As much as I love that idea.
Norman Ludlam, known for sexually assaulting female patients under sedation. On the night of October 12th, Norman Ludlam is present at the pier when 2 individuals fall from the northwest Ferris wheel. He rescues a male suspect from the water and manages to revive him, saving his life.
Rule 28. Each death must be physically possible, so...
Using his connections at the hospital, Ludlam keeps the suspect in a medically induced coma for 2 days.
Rule 28. Each death must be physically possible, so...
At the end of this period, he leaps to his death from the roof of the hospital. Aaron Peltz, mailman, retired, molested nearly a dozen children over the span of 20 years. Peltz retrieves the death note from the river on the night of October 12th. On day 2, he returns the death note to the Kira suspect and then commits suicide.
No shark attacks while someone's on the toilet.
And is killed when she accepts the death note from her boyfriend. As the Northwest Ferris wheel mysteriously collapses,
No shark attacks while someone's on the toilet.
she pulls the page with my name on it from the note.
Rule 28. Each death must be physically possible.
And it is ultimately consumed by fire.
Rule 28. Each death must be physically possible.
So her boyfriend lands safely in the water.
Each death must be physically possible.
Mia strikes the shoreline.
Each death must be physically possible.
Also, if your name is in the death note, why leave that shit to chance? I mean, you can burn it yourself, right? Moving on with Mia. Mia is introduced like this. Wow, what a rebel. I assume Mia was thought to be like Misa, but letting her be smart and not easily manipulated, which is great. The thing there is, you know...
I love you so much.
Yeah. Also not that smart considering she lets her boyfriend have the death note, knowing his name is on the death note, giving him a chance to burn it. But don't worry, he's stupid enough not to burn it, because... well, yeah, this movie. Moving on with Elle. Elle is supposed to be a really smart character, but the thing there is that we only see him make dumb decisions. Here's the scene where Elle realizes Kira is actually from the US by planting some names of some minor criminals, so that makes Elle kind of his killer, even though they weren't such big criminals. And he knows he's from the US because he planted it in the Seattle's database, although those minor criminal names could have been easily researched. And you know, since the death note creates their actions, their deaths could have been, you know, collateral damage. Man, this movie. Also, the only reason Elle suspects that Kira is from the US is because Light killed the guy in Seattle and supposedly that transmission was only local. The problem is, Light saw it on the internet. That shit is worldwide. And Elle should know this. You're like the best detective in the world, aren't you? In the end, this character doesn't even work because, you know, they give him a gun and he tries to kill Light. That's against what you've told us about him. Yes, he says, I don't like carrying a gun. And then he says, oh, you harm Watari, you're gonna make me do something I don't like. And then he has a gun. But that's not the point. The point is, it's not the chase. It's this difference in morality and sense of justice that Elle and Light have. That's what makes the anime interesting. That's what this movie should have focused on. But instead, they give us this ridiculous scene with Elle chasing Light through Seattle. It's ridiculous. If you director, if you screenwriter, if you producer fail to understand what made the original material interesting, your movie is gonna be a f***ing mess. Another character they completely f*** this movie is Ryuk. This character is so pointless. There is literally no purpose for him to be in the movie. He gives the death note, although it could have been easily found any other way. He's there to threaten Light. There's this need from the movie to antagonize Ryuk, even though it's not gonna develop it. It's just gonna get stuck. It's just gonna be another shit that will be forgotten in the movie. It's distracting. It ruins the movie. In the end, he's just there to f***ing give one line. Haha, human are interesting.
They're so interesting.
But when the f*** you thought they weren't? What the f*** does that give to your character? Is that a conclusion to your character arc? Was that a question you ever had? Was that in another cut? What did you even leave it there? Do you just wanted to give William Dafoe another line? Is that what happened? You thought, ah man, we paid a lot to William Dafoe. We should give him another line. Is that what happened?
You are so interesting.
Speaking of pointless characters, Light's dad is just there because I think Light needs a dad. That's pretty much it. Also, face, if you know your son was terrorized by L and you wanna protect him, sending the police force, which L is part of, why don't you just give him a fucking call? That way you avoid him getting all fucking frenetic and trying to run. Come on, dude. In the end, this asshole listens to his son confess him that he just murdered over 400 people, and instead of doing anything, he says something like, "Are you the lesser of two evils, son?" Are you f***ing kidding me?
It's like you said, sometimes you gotta choose the lesser of the two evils.
Which one are you, son?
In the end, I can't be too mad at Netflix, since they are apparently the only fucking company that is trying to make something new. Seriously, did everyone forget what is creativity? Nevertheless, this movie is a fucking disaster and it gets a 1 out of 10. What a piece of trash.
Gortoz et meuse, Gortoz et belle. Est-ce que te varan tu yugen? Est-ce que te varan tu yugen? Est-ce que te varan?
Please remember to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and thank you for watching.